Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video day, and today the Memphis Grizzlies have traded away Marcus Smart and a first-round pick, and also they also on top of that did let go of Jake LaRavia, who has been a really solid player for them this season, and so they send Jake and Marcus Smart away and a first-round pick, and in return get back Marvin Bagley III, Johnny Davis, and 3 second-round picks. And they did this to try to get rid of, or to get rid of Marcus Smart's really bad contract and, create some flexibility for them. And I kind of get it. I mean, they add in Bagley, who this season has not played much, only 9 minutes per game and 5 points per game with 3 rebounds per game. When he actually got some minutes at the end of the last season with the Wizards, and at the end of the 2023-24 season, looked pretty good with the Wizards last year. Played 24 games and 15 starts at the end of the last season with the Wizards after he was traded from Detroit to Washington, and played 24 minutes per game, 58% from the floor, 47% from three, 13.3 points per game, and 8 rebounds per game. Some of the best basketball he's played since the beginning of his career in Sacramento, when he was, getting some good minutes with the Sacramento Kings in the beginning of his career. So we'll see what kind of role he has in Memphis. They're also getting another, you could say, bust. It was the 10th overall pick with the Wizards, and that is Johnny Davis. So they're getting Johnny Davis, who's played 34 games this year, 7 minutes per game, 2.4 points per game. Last year, averaged 3 points per game, 6 points per game in his rookie season. Has been a total bust. From three in his career, shot 27%. He's shot less than 40% from the floor in his career. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm going to predict that Johnny Davis is cut. I don't think Johnny Davis ever plays a game for the Memphis Grizzlies. That's my prediction. I think Bagley does. I think Marvin Bagley will be a part of the plans for the Memphis Grizzlies, and very well could get some solid minutes there. But I think Johnny Davis is getting let go. But I really, part of it I don't like is them trading away. This is something I really don't like about the deal. Marcus Smart, I can understand. Yes, you're getting rid of a good player, but his contract is terrible, and they want to get away from that contract. But the part of this deal that I really don't like is getting rid of a good player like Jake LaRavia. Now, I think a big reason why is because he's an expiring deal, and that's why Memphis was so willing to give him up. But he has been a big part of this team this season off the bench. 7 points per game, 4.5 rebounds per game, 3 assists per game, 1 steal per game, a half a block per game. Minutes per game is at 21, shooting 49% from the floor. And here's a big thing. Taking 2 threes per game, shooting 44.4%. Has been great shooting the basketball, and I think he will be really good for the Kings. I am predicting he's going to be a really good player for the Kings when you play on a team like the Sacramento Kings that has such a great passing big man like Domantas Sabonis. And it's going to be great for Sabonis to have a good shooter around him. I mean, the Kings at the deadline, well, I'll tell you this right now. The Kings at the deadline made Domantas Sabonis he's already a deadly player, but made him more dangerous because, yes, they trade away Fox, and I think they're going to miss Fox. But when you add in Zach LaVine, who has shot before the trade, he got traded with Chicago, LaVine was shooting like 45% from three. And then LaRavia shooting 44% from three. So you added in 2 guys who are shooting way over 40% from three for Sabonis, who's such a great facilitator and such a, so great at seeing things on the court, finding his shooters. And really, I mean, there's only been a couple guys that he's had. I mean, Keegan Murray's a great shooter that he's had, and Kevin Huerter's supposed to be a guy this season that, was supposed to be someone that is a shooter that Sabonis could look for, and he has not been that because he's shot terrible from three this season, and that's why they traded Kevin Huerter to the Chicago Bulls in the De'Aaron Fox trade and sent him to Chicago because of how terrible he has shot this season. So I think he's had a letdown this year of Huerter shooting, sometimes even Murray shooting, but he's still he's still a good shooter and still has had really good shooting performances. So when you add guys like Jake LaRavia and Zach LaVine who are knockdown shooters, it makes Domantas Sabonis an even better player. And we're also talking about a guy that already has Keegan Murray. So he has shooters around him now like Keegan Murray, Zach LaVine, and Jake LaRavia. So this Kings team has improved so much on shooting with 3-point shooting. And then, the rest, I think I went over all of it. I mean, I like this deal for the Wizards, I'll tell you that. I'm not a huge fan of this trade for the Wizards. I'm sorry for the Grizzlies. I mean, it's not terrible, but I don't like them trading Jake LaRavia. I think a big thing this year for the Memphis Grizzlies has been, for the first year in Taylor Jenkins' tenure as a Memphis Grizzlies head coach, they have been a top 3-point shooting team in the league, and then all of a sudden you get rid of a guy who's shooting 44% from three. That's not good. This Grizzlies team is shooting the best basketball they have shot in Taylor Jenkins' time in Memphis, and then they get rid of the guy that has shot some of the best when it comes to shooting from downtown. That's not something you want to mess up. Marcus Smart, I can actually understand and kind of think it's fine. It's whatever, because he's had injuries and that's been a problem, and he has a terrible contract. I'd say the thing that upsets me more is Jake LaRavia, because 3-point shooting has been key for them this season, and they've been so good at it, and you don't want to mess that up. But yeah, that's the video. If you guys enjoyed, and peace out.